was really interested in interviewing you was because you sent out the 10 highlights from when you left Frank, and they were kind of 10 great highlights, and I was like, what are the kind of lowlights that you turned into highlights? So kind of for two or three things that maybe you didn't expect that you kind of had to deal with that were, and you kind of come through and turn them into opportunities. So if you
kind of post Frank, do you mean?
Yeah, so when you were post Frank and you sent out your 2 years of highlights.
Yeah, God, I can't remember what they were. I'm now nearly 4 years, so I did actually start to write a 4 years of highlights, and I think I bored myself halfway through the post, so I just deleted it. But do you know what? It's really strange. I was like, Frank had been 20 years of my life from starting it to deciding to step back. I thought I'd find it really, really tough. But I think I didn't, because it wasn't an overnight decision. I've been thinking about it for a couple of years. The thing I found, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just knew what I didn't want to do. And that was, I didn't want to employ people. I didn't want to have staff. I didn't want to have those HR responsibilities. I wanted to be in control of my own destiny, but I didn't have a plan. It was going back to something I said earlier. You know, I felt I wasn't pushing myself and I wasn't learning as much. It's relentless running any sort of agency, but you know, so I knew I didn't want to do that, and I was busy, but I wasn't feeling that challenge. So one of the things, you know, that I think the first thing I had to come to terms with was, you know, this is, I mean, I was salaried. We'd sold the agency. We were owned by a listed company in Australia, and we had a proportion of the company, but, you know, I was an employee, effectively. It didn't feel like I was, but I was. So, you know, every month, whether we'd had a good month, a bad month, whether I'd gone on holiday or been sick, a paycheck comes in, and it was a good paycheck. Quite hard to walk away from something that isn't challenging you. It's quite, you know, relatively straightforward, and you're making a lot of money from it. And I realised straight away, if I don't create opportunities, there's no paycheck at the end of the month. You know, if I decide I want a week in bed, which I never have done and never will, by the way, but, you know, no one's paying me to have a week in bed.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing. And I think I panicked a little bit. Not panicked, that's the wrong word. I didn't panic. I had maybe an insecurity that, you know, I built up, not on my own, but with others, a great brand. It was still is one of the best known, most well-respected agencies in the UK. Does anyone care about me? Like, I'd always sort of hidden behind the agency brand, you know, and would I get any work? Would anyone actually want? So I just said yes. Look, the phone started ringing, like from the moment I posted on LinkedIn, I'm stepping back, and the news went into the trade media and stuff. The phone just rang, and some of it was really interesting opportunities. Others was pretty random, but I said yes to everything because I was fearful that, you know, those might be the only 5-10 phone calls I'd get. So I better you know, let's get some money in the bank. And it wasn't really about, I didn't really need, I wasn't driven by that, but it's just natural you feel like you need to earn.